This is Wayne Marshall, and we're about to do an interview with OUR today. I'm here with Wayne Mitchell and Tami Chin Mitchell, bringing you an Our Today exclusive interview. First question will be, how did this deal with CVM happen?
Well, I mean, this CVM deal happened based on a number of variables coming together at the right time. Oliver McIntosh from CVM TV approached me and said it would be a great idea for you guys to be a part of our new program. You know, he recently acquired CVM. Everybody is basically excited about the new management and the new direction that the station will be going in. I was excited as well when he laid out the plans and stuff, and decided that it was the right time. Another variable is that once we started vlogging and it picked up momentum, a lot of comments were saying, you guys need to go on TV, you guys this needs to have a national platform, you know, because people love the content. And that was one of the factors. I thought in my mind that maybe one day we would make that jump to local TV. So a lot of things came together at the right time for this CVM deal to come through.
So the next question is, what's the transition been like for you both as you've gone from entertainers to now reality TV stars? What's that been like? What's the feelings? What are the thoughts?
The transition for me, I think, happened a lot sooner than for Wayne. Obviously, like, you know, I stopped doing music right after the birth of my first child. I really hadn't been doing music since, and I've kind of dabbled into, you know, the world of you know, YouTube and kind of creating more of a...
I thought you were going to say entrepreneurship.
Yes, I did do that as well. I forget, you know. But yes, you know, I went on to, like, you know, own a salon for a little while and operate that for a little while, and then just moving into different areas of my life. So for me, I think it's been a longer time coming. But I've always asked Wade if we could have done a vlog, you know, from even over 10 years ago. I was like, we should do a vlog. And he was like, what is a vlog? But I think once, you know, we got into the rhythm of it, we realized it's a lot like just any creative process. And it's really given us an opportunity to continue wearing that creative hat and to kind of show up in a way that, you know, people maybe weren't used to seeing. But it's storytelling again, isn't it? But just this time about our lives.
And just to be clear, I've not given up on music. I've not retired from music, but you're right. A lot of my time and energy and focus has gone into this new venture, this new vlogging that has become a career, like legitimate. Yeah. You know, like, I mean, in years past, you couldn't tell anybody that you're a YouTuber. Now people are kind of warming up to the idea of YouTube being an actual career, and it kind of is.
And it's a lot of work.
See, he knows my next question was, will there be any future in the music for Wayne Marshall? He knows, you know. That's why he answered like that. He knows, you know. You think that's going to stop me from asking you the question?
Well, doesn't that answer the question?
It does, but I'm asking it anyway. You're not throwing me off. How has the introduction of a new family member changed how you go about your daily lives?
In every way. You know, there's one more person to consider with everything. And just like every time we've had to welcome a new member to our family, there's a period of just adjustment. We're so grateful to have, you know, somebody like Momo who literally shows up for our family in a big way and who helps us all to kind of make the transition a little easier. So, but it definitely is. It's something that is, you know, it's not the easiest thing on the planet, and I think too many people make it seem like it's you just have another baby, or you just have this, or motherhood is easy, or parenthood is easy. And I think that's something that's been great about the vlog, that we've kind of been able to share that, you know, it's not as easy as it looks. It takes a toll, and it takes a lot of care and attention.
So hang on, people really say, oh, you just have another baby? I've never heard anyone say that.
You know, if you look at anything that's been fed to us through traditional media, movies, anything like that, it always seems so easy. And mothers never want to share that it's a difficult road. Mothers always, I feel like, try to make it seem so easy.
Okay.
It's not.
I don't know anybody that's ever called it easy. Oh, another baby. Okay. And what about you, Wayne?
Well, I mean, having a baby, having a newborn, it does require adjustment from parents. I mean, there are the early stages when you are in protection mode of that baby, because the baby has to get used to the ways of the world. He has to get his first, she or he has to get his first sickness and all of these things. So you try your best to keep the bubble as tight as possible. That um, kind of kept us on the ground, basically. We had to stay put. It's not like we could continue going about touring down Jamaica, driving up and down, going on knuckles. So yes, a new addition has brought a fair bit of adjustment, but it's not anything that we're not used to. I mean, I wasn't used to the girl, so the girl factor now, the girl addition to all the boys and the testosterone in the household has been an interesting thing, and that in itself has been adjustment too, right? You know, as a father, is just a different level of attention that I have to put to my little daughter.
Okay. So then you mentioned the bubble. So the next question will be now is, what checks and balances do you have in place to ensure that your other children are protected in any way from the newfound fame or anything like that?
Well, we do our best always. I mean, I think the number one thing I'll come up with and always say is that as much as we share, we still have so much privacy. You know, there's still so much that we process as a family behind closed doors. You know, our vlog comes out 3 times a week, and people are privy to maybe, 17 to 22 minutes of a day. And I think if anybody was to document that up there, they'd realize that, there's a whole lot that you don't see, right? So, we do our best to just always be very honest with our kids as well, and just let them know the lay of the land. But at the same time, it is what it is. But we don't feel unsafe, or that we're doing something that we don't all agree on as a family. And I think, like every other family and every other parents, we are doing the best we can, and hopefully making the right decisions.
Okay. You echo her statement?
Definitely, well said.
Yeah, that's it. I was like, we don't need to talk for this one.
Well, it's something that comes up from time to time, that people think about. But I always think about like all the other jobs in Jamaica that people have, where, or people who put their kids on social media. I mean, people might look at us and be like, oh, you put your kids on, but you do too, So, and there are people who don't, but it's
just
one
their
of those
reality.
things.
They barely even understand that they are more popular than the next door neighbor. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't force that narrative on them.
But we make them aware of it as well, though, to like you said, keep them safe. Yeah.
Well, so the next question is for Wayne, even though I'm sure Tami is the one with this answer. Right? How do you decide what you keep private?
Well, we have grown into a rhythm, and we understand each other so well. We've been together for like 16 years. This is our 4th World Cup currently happening right now. So her values and my values coincide a lot. So we basically don't even have to communicate on what should be kept sacred and what can go public. And even if we do, make a mistake and say something that shouldn't be said, there's an editing process.
Like our address.
Right? There's an editing process that we can vet the material and the content before it comes out, and we kind of have a overview and a second look,
I think also anything that we haven't processed as a couple, as a family, we don't share that.
Okay.
So if something has happened that we haven't had a chance to kind of work through or figure out, we're not sharing at that point, because there are things like in all families that you have to process that first. But I will tell you that, we are pretty open and pretty vulnerable for the sake of just also other people hopefully recognizing those same things in their families and realizing that, they're not so strange, or they're not alone, or they're not the only people who think these things. So yes, we do share on some things that maybe other people keep private, but we share in an effort to say, hey, this is completely normal, and it's okay that you're afraid to do this, or to show this emotion, or to, that's really our bigger picture, and we hope that is always doing more good than bad.
All right. That's a beautiful answer. But Wayne brought it up. I wasn't going to ask the question, but Wayne brought it up. You mentioned the World Cup. I need to know, Tami, Which team are you supporting and why is it not Brazil? Why is it not Brazil?
You notice me and my colors same way.
I know he's Brazil, you know.
You know,
Because I was ready to record him when Brazil lost on Thursday. It didn't happen, so I had to change my plans.
yes.
Questions to you, why not Brazil?
I don't really care, to tell you the truth. I mean, I love when World Cup happens because I love to see how the Jamaican people come together and agree on something, even though disagree on which team or that. But it's a beautiful time, I think, for our nation, and so I always kind of enjoy this. And I only say it to be, a little, what's the word, provoking. That I don't, but whoever win.
I'm not taking that
I
PR
am the
answer, you know.
biggest
I have
organist.
never seen you in a Brazil shirt.
Pardon?
I've never seen you in a Brazil shirt. I am not taking that
Why
answer.
do you have on a Brazil shirt today?
I have on a Brazil shirt.
I'm a trouble.
Alright, well, thank you for that. So the final question is, how does the show being on CVM affect the plans for the YouTube channel?
You want me to say part?
You can start. Well, I can just say this: it doesn't affect our plans for YouTube. It never did. That is a separate deal, and we kind of have our YouTube family as our like real day one OGs who have made us into who we are. Without YouTube, there's no bigger deal. You know what I'm saying? So we've already committed to keeping our content consistent on YouTube, no matter what happens outside of that. You know?
Yeah, and I think what happens now is just, there's so many people who haven't been in contact with MTM or know what Meet the Mitchells is, and so we're going to spend some time trying to help people to understand what we do, what it is about. I think a lot of people will be surprised to see that it is not what they expect. Earlier you called us reality stars, and I think that has such a negative connotation. Here comes one child. Yeah. You're trying to get the YouTube. You know which one is the YouTube? TV.
Because Daddy, I need you.
Yeah, we soon come and help you.
Good.
So yes, I was saying that sometimes has a negative connotation, and I would just ask that if anybody hasn't seen it before to just kind of give it a try, because I think, like I said earlier, it's a little different than what people might expect. We don't have any scripted reality. We don't have cameras following us around. We film everything. We edit everything from our phones. So, yeah.
Our news, our world, our today.